After the OWN network announced its ban, Arionne Curry's world suddenly changed. The woman who was once the center of attention in a reality TV feud with Martel Haute was now afraid of her own shadow. There was a time when every interview, every blog, every YouTube video was seen with his name on it. But now there was silence on social media. His last post on Instagram had thousands of comments under it. Some sympathetic, some scornful. Now look, when OWN doesn't call you, where does your truth go? The fame is gone. Arionne, time tests, everything. These comments weren't just words, they were like rubbing salt in his wounds. But for Arionne, the story wasn't over. Rather, it was about to become the truest chapter of his life. Own. Network banned Arionne Curry from the set of Love and Marriage, Huntsville in mid-2024. The reason given was on-set disruption, inappropriate behavior on set, and interference with production. Martel Holt, who was already embroiled in controversy at the time, was furious with the decision. According to a source close to Martel, Martel tried to speak to OWN several times after the ban, but the network made it clear that Arionne is not part of the show and never will be. The sentence was like a death knell for Arionne immediately after the ban. Arionne made a few cryptic posts, as if she was hiding her pain in gestures rather than words. In one post, she wrote, the line quickly went viral. MelodyShari's fan pages called it victim card, while some said OWN is trying to silence her. On the other hand, Martel Holt's attitude was becoming more bitter. He was trying unsuccessfully to save his image and mend his relationship with Arionne at the same time. Sometimes the ones who speak the truth are the ones who are silenced. According to an inside source within the reality world, Martel told Arionne to keep quiet, cause her business deals with OWN could be affected, but Arionne couldn't stay quiet. She wanted to tell the truth, no matter the cost. Arionne's businesses, especially his online boutique, were hit hard after the ban. At one point, his website, Heiress Boutique, was receiving hundreds of orders a day. But 3 months after the ban, traffic dropped by 60%. The social media scandal damaged his reputation. A close friend said she wouldn't sleep at night. She would read the comments on her phone. Sometimes she would cry. Sometimes she would delete the story in anger. But deep down, she still thought she was innocent. According to Arionne, OWN treated him unfairly in a private conversation. He said, "I didn't hurt anyone. I just spoke my truth and I got punished." That show only shows the people who benefit from it, not the ones who show the truth. Martel Holt's attitude began to change day by day. He began to distance himself from Arionne because his new contract with OWN was in jeopardy. His PR agents gave him clear advice. If you want to regain public respect, stay away from Arionne. It was at this moment that Arionne realized he was alone. The man he had risked everything for was now afraid to even mention his name. In fact, in late 2024, Martel said on a podcast, "I've had past mistakes in my life. I don't want to talk about them. I just want to move on." This sentence was actually the final stamp on Arionne's name. While Arionne and Martel's worlds were falling apart, MelodyShari was moving toward a new life. OWN produced a special series for her, Melody Rising, that garnered record-breaking views. It was the story of a single mother reclaiming her identity after being betrayed. In fact, Melody's success became a mirror for Arionne, a woman who had once been a shadow in Martel's life, now shown in her own light. In early 2025, Arionne decided to break her silence. She launched a YouTube channel titled Unfiltered Truth by Arionne Curry. The channel gained 80,000 subscribers in its first week. People were curious. Was she going to reveal the secrets of OWN, Martel, or Melody? In the first video, she said, "I will tell the stories that were never aired, the moments that were cut in the editing room, and the truth that everyone knows but no one speaks." The video went viral within days, causing a stir within OWN, as it directly accused the network of corruption. OWN released a statement shortly after the video. The network does not engage with unverified claims or misinformation. We stand by our integrity and production ethic. But the public reaction was different. Some people called Arionne's words a lie. But thousands of people said, "Finally, someone has the courage to speak the truth." The YouTube video not only shed light on Arionne Curry's words, but also on the face of the OWN network. The video, which began in a calm tone, gradually turned into an explosive revelation. He looked at the camera and said, "I am not making this video for fame, but for justice. I was part of a story that was presented to the public as a false image, and now it is time to tell the truth, without editing, without a script." In the video, Arionne accused the production team of distorting the facts in the editing to show MelodyShari as the victim and Martell as the villain. He said that several scenes from the show were intentionally deleted so that the story would go in a certain direction. Video sent shockwaves through the reality TV world as soon as it aired. Blogs, podcasts, and Instagram pages cut out parts of the video and re-uploaded them. A well-known entertainment blog, The Shade Room, wrote, "Arionne Curry finally breaks silence, and her truth is louder than OWN's silence." A debate began in the media about whether reality TV shows really show the truth, or is everything scripted. The pressure on the OWN network began to increase. OWN initially ignored the matter, but according to insiders, the network's lawyers reviewed Arionne's video for defamation risk. An email that was later leaked read, "We must monitor her content closely. Any false claims against production must be addressed legally." Asterisk. This was the moment when the game became dangerous for Arionne, because the price of telling the truth is not always low. Sometimes it ends a career. When Arionne's video went viral, the media pressure on Martell Holt increased. In his interviews, every journalist would ask the same question: "Is what Arionne is saying true?" Martell would always answer with a smile, "I don't talk about the past. I'm focusing on my children and my business." But inside he was restless. His contract with OWN was in jeopardy. The channel gave his lawyer a formal warning that if he supports Arionne's statements, all his sponsorships will be canceled, according to a close source. Martell asked Arionne to stop the videos, but Arionne refused. He said, "You're all scared, but I'm not." A month after the first video, Arionne uploaded a second video. The title was "The Unseen Tapes: What OWN Didn't Want You to See." At the beginning of the video, she said, "These videos are from when I was with Martell. Some clips were recorded during the show, but were not aired. I will only show what should have been made public." There were some sounds in the video, the shooting set in the background, and the production crew talking. Although the faces were not clear, the voices were recognizable. An OWN representative later stated that the content shown in the video does not belong to any official records, and if it is internal footage, it was recorded illegally. Following this statement, OWN sent Arionne a legal notice, cease and desist order, forbidding him from uploading any more videos. Arionne immediately posted a story on Instagram: "When powerful people try to silence you, remember you are speaking the truth." The phrase became a slogan for her fans. Thousands of people started supporting her with a hashtag. Hashtag stand with ARIONE. Her YouTube subscribers surpassed 100,000. In early 2025, Arionne filed a lawsuit against the OWN network for wrongful exclusion and defamation. The case was filed in Alabama State Court. His lawyers stated, "We just want justice. Our client was portrayed as a liar, unstable and meddling, when the truth is the opposite." It was a historic moment in the reality TV world because it was the first time a woman had sued a major network over her right to the truth. OWN's response and MelodyShari's position. OWN network took a strong stance. A press release stated, "Our commitment is to truthful storytelling. Any attempt to malign our integrity will be dealt with legally." On the other hand, MelodyShari refused to comment on the controversy, but according to sources close to her, Melody knew that Arionne was trying to sell her story, but she also knew that Arionne had something that could shake up the network. Meanwhile, Arionne's videos began to receive millions of views. Asterisk people were praising her bravery, but some were calling it a publicity stunt. The argument that had once been between Martell and Melody had now shifted to between OWN and Arionne, the website. Reality T published a report in which an OWN insider said, "We did have some footage that we didn't air. This revelation was dangerous for OWN. Because if the leak were proven, the network would suffer legal and moral damage, but it was irrelevant or sensitive material. If Arionne has those videos, it means that someone leaked them from the inside." After his case, Arionne suddenly went silent on YouTube. No videos. No posts that there was only one line in his story. Sometimes silence speaks louder than noise. People thought maybe she was being pressured by OWN, or maybe she was up to some big trick. According to court records in March 2025, the court ordered both OWN and Arionne to stay away from the media after a preliminary hearing, so as not to affect the case. Meanwhile, Martell Holt's reputation began to decline further. His business line? Holt Builders faced several financial crises. Criticism against him on social media increased, and several sponsors ended their work with him. In an interview, he said, "I admit mistakes, but I'm not a bad person. I made my own decisions in life. But the media made me a villain." The interview went viral, but it didn't elicit sympathy. People began to feel that Martell was no longer the reality star he once was, but rather a symbol of a fallen man. In the spring of 2025, a case began in an Alabama court that shook not only the OWN network, but the entire reality TV world. Arionne Curry versus OWN network. This wasn't just a case. It was the voice of a woman who dared to speak out against the system. There were dozens of reporters outside the courtroom. People were asking questions over the microphones. Does Arionne really have evidence? Did OWN tarnish his image? But there was silence inside the courtroom. The judge said bluntly, "This case is not about emotions. It's about evidence. We'll see who has the truth." OWN's lawyer made the first statement. "This lawsuit is a false narrative from an angry woman. Our network never sought to tarnish anyone's reputation. Ms. Curry will face the consequences of her decisions." On the other hand, Arionne's lawyer calmly responded, "We are not here for opinions, but for justice. Our client has videos, messages, and production notice that will prove that she was consciously erased from the story." In court, Arionne sat quietly, a calm face but intense eyes. This was the woman who was once called the dangerous woman of reality TV, but today she stood up for justice. Arionne's lawyer presented a USB in court. It contained the same videos that Arionne called unseen tapes. In the video, two production people are seen saying, "If this scene is played, the audience will not be gentle with Melody, so cut it." The sentence seemed to echo throughout the courtroom. OWN's lawyer immediately objected. "This video was obtained illegally. It cannot be included in evidence." But the judge ruled, "For now, this evidence will remain admissible. The final decision will be made later." The next day, Arionne's lawyer produced an email that had been exchanged between OWN's production team. The subject line was, "Narrative Control Season 6. The email read, "This was the first major setback for OWN. Keep Arionne off camera. Her presence changes audience. Sympathy, we cannot let her story override Melody's narrative." It was the sentence that could have changed the course of the entire TRIALOWN's lawyer said it was misconstrued, but the judge called the email considerable. Outside the courtroom, the media made headlines for the email. OWN caught controlling reality. Leaked email proves bias. CNN and Entertainment Tonight ran special reports on it. Debate erupted on social media. Arionne sat outside the court. The situation at OWN headquarters was tense, according to sources. Differences between producers grew. Some said, "We should make peace with Arionne," while others said, "If we bow down, everyone else will speak up." I didn't come to put anyone down. I just want to show the truth that was hidden because it wasn't to their liking. Does reality TV really show reality? Or is everything pre-written? MelodyShari, who was launching her new business M-Class Beauty at the time, said in an interview, "I don't want to be part of any controversy, but there are two sides to every story in the third week of the case." Arionne's lawyer presented a witness, a former production assistant, who spoke on condition of anonymity. He said, "I saw firsthand how parts of the show were cut. Some directors said, 'Arionne is too real, she ruins the storyline.' She told the truth, and that scared them. Maybe it's time for the audience to decide for themselves." The statement was a signal to OWN that their own star was now questioning the networks. POLICIESOWN's lawyer called the testimony uncorroborated, but the court noted that this statement is consistent with other evidence. This was the moment the media headlined. The woman they silenced, now the world listens. On the fourth week, the court summoned Martel Holt. He appeared psychologically exhausted. The judge asked. Martel thought for a moment, then said, "I saw some things, but at the time I thought it best to remain silent." OWN's lawyer concluded the case. "We are a network that provides entertainment, not a court. If every actor or participant starts running us according to their own version, then reality entertainment will be over." But Arionne's lawyer responded, "This is not entertainment. This was character assassination. And today a woman stands up for justice. Maybe I was wrong." The courtroom fell silent. OWN's lawyer called his statement irrelevant, but for the public. That sentence was enough. Martel finally admitted that there was something that was being hidden. "Mr. Holt, did you ever see any evidence of manipulation by the production team?" The judge reserved the decision, but public opinion had already been formed. Arionne's YouTube followers surpassed 1 million. OWN's ratings began to plummet. And MelodyShari quietly removed her new branding from OWN. A few weeks later, the court ruled OWN Network acted within contractual rights, but failed to maintain fair representation. Ms. Curry's exclusion was ethically questionable. That is, legally OWN won, but morally the public recognized Arionne as the winner. Arionne left the courtroom with only one sentence: "I went not in court, but in the hearts of the public." The OWN network soon launched a new show, Redefining Reality, in which he spoke openly for the first time. Reality is never the whole truth, but it's not a lie either. It's the middle ground where people and stories meet. Arionne began work on his book, titled The Unedited Truth, which became a bestseller within months. Melody formed her own production company, and Martel went silent. The truth is that sometimes silence is the most powerful revenge. OWN saved its reputation, but one woman exposed the system simply by speaking the truth. If you believe that those who speak the truth should not be suppressed, then raise your voice today. Comment, share. Comment, share.